We're gonna shoot him.
Company! Right below! When you're loaded, come to the shoulder. Company! Hey, ready! Present! Fire!
Now, does anybody have any questions?
What did you say? Pardon?
That was a typical line firing, well, combination of British and American Army. You may have seen some different types of movements from some of the guys because, again, some of us do American representation and some of us do British. Two different armies, so obviously you're going to have two different manuals to follow, procedures for the firing maneuvers. So, just minor details. Any questions? No? Okay. Sorry? No, they're just checking, make sure they're clear. Oh.
Whoa.
Would anyone like a word about the brown Bess musket? Of course you would. I would. All right. This is the brown Bess musket. This is the principal weapon of the British Army from the early 18th century. It's a 75 caliber weapon, like a shotgun muzzle. The musket is comprised of three parts. The firing mechanism, which is the lock, comes out with two bolts right there. Boom, it's out. It's got a mainspring. It has a serpentine seahorse-shaped hammer that holds the flint in this grip. This part of the lock is called the steel, or the prison. And this weapon is a self-generating spark weapon. It's a tremendous 18th century advancement. When the flint strikes the closed steel, it drives the steel up, creates a spark, and exposes the charge in the powder charge in the pan. So the weapon is lock, and then the walnut stock and barrel. When it's all together, it's lock, stock, and barrel. If the main charges don't go off, sometimes the touch-owl, or as my English friends say, the touch-owl, gets plugged up with schmooch, right, which is unfired powder. 30–40% of the powder doesn't discharge. And then you can load, and you get a flash in the pan. So it's sort of like a date that doesn't really come off in high school, right? The way the men fire, they fire in line as we just did now. They hear the order, prime and load. They reach into their cartouche box, as the French would say, their cartridge box. They pull out a cartridge which is comprised of 1 ounce lead ball seated at the bottom of the cartridge and approximately 100 to 110 grains of powder up above. They take their two opposing teeth. They have them. They don't. They've got a problem. They rip it open. They put a little bit of powder in the pan. Tap, 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 tap. Right, that loads. That's the pre-charge. Close the prison. Hold it in place. Bring the musket about like this. Pour the rest of the powder, maybe 90 grains or more, down the muzzle. Right. Then taking the paper and the 1 ounce lead ball all together, they push it in the end, right? And they push the charge down to create, the paper helps create the compression, which gives a better shot. They reach for their rammer, they drive home balls, paper, powder, and all. Right? So, then they return their rammers, and they come up to the recover position to show the officer or the NCO, the sergeant, that they're loaded and ready to fire. Then the order comes. Battalion or company, make ready, click to the full cock position, present, fire. So, shall we try that sequence? Anyone interested in that? This young man will do it at the same time. All right, prime and load. So we reach for our cartridge. We tap, tap, tap into the pan. We bout, bring the musket about, put the black powder only charge down the muzzle. We're not going to ram, and we don't have a bullet. Right? We're now loaded. We come up to the recover, right about face. Firing obliquely at elevation. Company, take, ready? Present. Fire in the hole. Fire.
Oops.
Let's try it again. Any questions about the Brown Bess 75 caliber musket?
And then it gets quite hot. Very warm along.
And how deaf did people get? How quickly?
Yeah. And that's why I wear glasses. I need them, and they